Parashat Matot discusses and opens up with the subject of neder. It's a very fascinating thing when you look into Shulchan Aruch, Siman Reish Nun, in the beginning of Chelik Gimel of Yoredea. It discusses the concept of making a promise, making a vow, a neder. And it says to you, don't do it. Toiv shelo tidor v'shetidor v'sham. It's better not to make a neder. And even if you're going to make the neder, don't do it. Why? Because if a person makes a neder, it's equivalent to a person bringing a sacrifice on an altar at the times when an altar is not permissible. It's a very fascinating thing that sometimes we want to do something to advance ourselves, and it's really working against us. It's fascinating to note that a neder is something that is considered negative. Don't do it. And then in Sif Hey, there's something amazing takes place in Shulchan Aruch. It says, Bishat Sarah, when a person is in a situation that he's confined, constricted, he's worried, he's concerned, he's in danger, he can make a neder. Very fascinating. And where do we learn this? From Yaakov Avinu in Parashat Vayetze, Vayidor Yaakov neder. And he says he's running from Esav and Hashem will be with me, and he makes a whole promise to God, and it works out. But it's very fascinating because we don't find in the Torah that something that's not permissible, but if you're not feeling good, if you have a stomach ache, you have a headache, or you're feeling lonely, you're feeling constricted, you know what? You can eat the non-kosher. If it's not kosher, you can't eat it. It doesn't, your mood or your circumstance doesn't really change the reality of what's permissible, what's not permissible. But all of a sudden when it comes to the laws of neder, things change. Don't do it. It's wrong to do it. It's working against you. But if you feel in a situation of tzara, confinement, constriction, do it. So I'd like to explore the concept of a neder. Understand the words. Understand that a neder comes from the word nun, dar. Living in the 50th gate. Nun, we all know there are 49 gates of sanctity, just like there are 49 gates of depths of impurity. And there's something called the 50th. When you're in the 50th gate, you're literally sitting together on the lap of Kaviyachol HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You're sitting on his lap, and which is very fascinating. It's a privilege. Nun dar, living together with Hashem as one. You see, if I'm running a business, and I do a great job, I have accountants and everything, one of the last things I ever want to do is call up the IRS and say, hey, why don't you send a bunch of guys come check out my books? You don't do that. You know why you don't do that? Because as good as you are and as careful as you are, you don't want to invite negativity into your life. The same thing here, the halacha is coming and telling us, when your person makes a neder, instantaneous, from the power of our speech, we're able to be together in the same domain as God. We're sitting literally on his lap. So now, if you do that for no specific reason, that's quite challenging. That's silly because, hey, your entire file is opened right in front of him. You're on his lap. Hey, who are you? Oh, how'd you get here? What's going on? Oh my gosh. Oh, it can bring upon a person instantaneous judgment, and we don't want that. But halacha teaches us, and Yaakov Avinu teaches us, and the laws of Nadarim teach us, if you're feeling confined, constricted, limited, you're in pain. And most of all, you're feeling lonely. For whatever reason it is, you're alone in the world. You don't have your shidduch, you can't make parnasa. Someone hurt you, someone mimicked you, someone challenged you, your boss, or your co-workers, you're feeling alone. Hashem says, just say a few words, make a neder, and you should know that instantaneously you are transformed from being alone to sitting on my divine lap. because I care about you, and I'm going to hug you, I'm going to caress you, I'm going to take care of you. The power of a neder should be reserved for special events. I promise. Don't do that. All of those, we are given a divine power of speech, and it can really take us places. But we got to be careful when we choose what to say, when we say it, and how to manipulate our use. Because if we use it wrongly, we're going to hurt ourselves. So the divine power of speech has given us the ability, at times, to sit on Hashem's lap, especially when we're feeling alone and insecure, and we don't know what tomorrow brings. Just say a few words. And if not, all other times when you make a commitment, say the words bli neder. Because if you don't fulfill it, it could be very painful. And even if you fulfill it, right, and you don't say bli neder without a promise, it could be also devastating. Because you don't want to attract so much attention when you're not ready. So take advantage of our power of speech and connect with the divine. Hopefully, we never need to make a neder. But if we're stranded and we're really in a tough situation, make a promise, cut a deal with Hashem, and you'll see instant results and success. Shabbat Shalom.